Well, we've spent a lot of time talking about the crisis at the U.S.-Mexico border, not a lot of time talking about why so many migrants are coming up from Central America. There are a lot of reasons for it. One of them, though, involves the former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. So way back 10 years ago in 2009, the Honduran President Manuel Zelaya was overthrown in a coup. Ever since then, Honduras has been in chaos with widespread violence. We've seen the same kind of thing happen in a lot of other countries. Hillary Clinton's connection is this. She was Secretary of State when Zelaya was overthrown. She defended his ouster in the hardcover version of her memoir called Hard Choices. Here's the interesting part. She removed that defense from the paperback version. Anya Parampil is a journalist at the Gray Zone. Recently, she interviewed Zelaya in Honduras, and she joins us tonight. Anya, thanks a lot for coming on.
Of course, my pleasure.
So this is one of those stories, and I know it's complex and we don't have a ton of time, but sum it up briefly for our viewers who don't know anything about it.
Well, the reason Hillary Clinton would remove the section of her book which talked about her role in overseeing that coup in Honduras, which removed their democratically elected president, Jose Manuel Zelaya, in 2009, is because she must be quite ashamed of the legacy that coup left in the country. We're talking about, and I spoke with Zelaya, as you mentioned, on the 10th anniversary of that coup, when all U.S. media was talking about the crisis at the border without speaking about the fact that that crisis is directly tied to U.S. foreign policy, specifically U.S. regime change policy, which has resulted in the doubling of poverty in Honduras. We're talking about a country now which is experiencing 65% poverty, with about 42% of the country classified as living under extreme poverty. But more than that, the two men which have succeeded Jose Manuel Zelaya as president, President Lobo, and current President Juan Orlando Hernandez, who somehow has served 2 terms despite the fact that Honduras' constitution forbids a second term as president. Both of those men now stand accused by the U.S. government of funding their presidential campaigns with money made off the drug war. Current President Juan Orlando Hernandez specifically is accused of that, but his brother, Tony Hernandez, is currently sitting in a U.S. prison cell in Miami for his role in the drug trade, someone who was actually signing his initials on bags of cocaine that were being shipped. And this president, Juan Orlando Hernandez, is implicated as a co-conspirator by the U.S. government in this case. Yet he was here in Washington.
So I guess what you're saying is it turns out that once you dump the old guy, you don't necessarily get a better country or better leadership. Doesn't this evoke memories of what happened in Libya with Muammar Gaddafi, overthrown, killed with the support of Samantha Power and Hillary Clinton?
Yes.
Precipitates the migrant crisis in Europe.
Absolutely. That is what's driving the migrant crisis, the international migrant crisis, Tucker, and it's something that both parties in this country for some reason support, Democrats and Republicans alike. The Obama administration, the Trump administration, both allowing Juan Orlando Hernandez, a co-conspirator in $1 million cocaine scandal, is supported by the U.S. government, and that's because both parties answer to a small elite in this country, which actually benefit not only from these countries like Honduras being opened up to international corporations, but also benefit from the flood of labor, cheap labor, into this country.
Well, that's the story right there. I couldn't agree with you more. That's exactly right. A servant class for the ruling class. Anya Parampil, great to see you tonight.
Nice to speak with you, Tucker, of course.